Hey y'all, we just gonna take out my braids today, okay? Nothing special. I'm gonna give y'all a cute little chit chat, and that's just that on that. Let's get into this video. Okay y'all, so clearly as you can see, I took out one braid. I actually forgot to cut on the camera, and I was like, oh yeah, let me press record, okay? So as y'all can see with this one, her length is giving. She's giving, okay? She's giving a little bit of something. She probably went that far. My end is looking a mess as normal. You already know my end is always looking raggedy, so. But anyways, just wanted to chit chat with y'all a little bit. For one, these braids have been in since December. Obviously, as you know, if you've been watching my vlogs from Tulum, the braids have been in since December, okay? And it's long overdue. Mind you, the braids would have been out, but my babies had got sick, so I couldn't, you know, send them off to school to give me a little bit more time to do some self-care, okay? So anyways, yeah, so we working with this little dustiness, okay? But we taking them out now, so that's all that matters, okay? Let me even run down how my child got sick. Well, my babies, period, because you know your girl got two, okay? So anyway, mind you, I gotta catch y'all up on the whole Tulum thing because I went through some traveling shenanigans with them. But I'm gonna start with this right now because I'm just left frustrated. I've been frustrated with this issue for some time. So mind you, I left for Tulum December 18th. Well, let me rewind. I was supposed to leave for Tulum December 18th, right? And get to the airport. Yeah, let me rewind. Was driving to the airport and I get a notification that the flight had been delayed, okay? So that's just thing one. So go back home, and then I want to say, yeah, then I had went back to the airport a couple hours later, sat up there for a while. In the end, the flight got canceled. So I get back home. I'm gonna go through all, I'm gonna probably do a separate video on the travel and shenanigans, but right now I want to talk about this, how my babies got sick, just because I'm just irritated about it at the moment. So I get back home, and actually, yeah, I get back home, my brother had picked me up, and he was like, oh, Layla's been, her nose has been running, X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, how so? Because when I left earlier, she was fine, okay? She was good as new. So I don't know what had happened between, you know, the time I left to like on my way back home, because the flight had got canceled to Tulum. And obviously kids are germ magnets, okay? They could pick up whatever, okay? And you know, they're at an age where they're just kind of touching everything and putting their hands in their mouth. Y'all know how this go, okay? And if you don't, now you know. So with that being said, she just was like real nasally, was real. I'm gonna take them out first. Okay, pause. I'm gonna take out the braids first, and then I'm gonna like go through and kind of like comb them out and stuff. So we ain't gonna do that right now. I'm gonna just twist it up real quick. So anyways, get back home, she's like real nasally, congested, nose is running, you know, like a typical cold kind of thing, right? So then I was like legit contemplating like canceling my trip to Tulum. Obviously the flight had got canceled, but I had worked it out where I was able to get another flight for the next morning, basically. So let me, girl, why is she doing one by one, girl? If you don't cut these and stop playing. I was literally contemplating canceling the trip, okay? All because she was sick. And I was like, no, I mean, they're gonna be with family. She should be all right, okay? I was like, all right, we just gonna only be gone a few days, and I'll deal with it when I get back. When I get back, there was no improvement. She was still sick, you know, yada, yada, blah, blah, okay? And then, you know, contacted her doctor. Mind you, we have Kaiser, so Kaiser makes it easy for you to like communicate with your doctor. If you have Kaiser, you know you have the app. They try to make it as easy as possible to get a hold of your doctor. So I had basically, you know, contacted their doctor regarding that. Mind you, I low-key don't really care for their doctor as much after this particular situation, just because I feel like the lack of concern is just like, I don't understand. Why are you a doctor? Why are you a doctor, man? My child has been sick since December. So I had kept them, I didn't send them back to school in January. I only sent my son, Langston, to school because he was Gucci. Or whatever. If he, I'm trying to think if he actually, he did pick up a sickness from her, but his came and it went like a normal average cold. So I was able to send him back to school. And I didn't send her back because I was like, okay, she'll be better in a couple weeks. Okay, cool. And you know, it slowed up. So I had sent her to school and things of that nature. And I sent her, mind you, there's an app for their school. So I'm able to like see pictures and things like that. I noticed on some pictures that she had like a runny nose. I'm just like, oh God. And I'm like, you know, hit up the director. I was like, hey, can y'all be a little bit more on top of it? Like, I know y'all got other kids to worry about, but if you see her nose like running, mind you, I sent her to school because I felt like her cold had like went away. The snot wasn't green like that. It was more so on the clear side, right? So I sent her, and then I go to take them to school a few days later, and they're like, oh, there was a COVID outbreak. I want to say that was on a Wednesday in January sometime. It was after the new year, and they were like, it was a COVID outbreak, and they would resume school that following, like the next week, which would be like that Monday. So I want to say that was a Wednesday. School was closed for the rest of the week, and Monday they were back open. Mind you, Layla's nose was starting to like spit out green snot, right? Langston seemed okay. No, I'm lying. So rewind again. Told you my story's all over the place, right? So mind you, that Wednesday I sent them to school. They turned them away because there was a COVID outbreak, but the director was like, oh, no, don't worry because that kid wasn't here at school. And I'm thinking like, well, why are you closing the school if they weren't there? But I'm like, whatever, you trying to take extra precaution, y'all want to sanitize the spot, I get it, whatever. That Thursday, tell me why Langston was throwing up, y'all. Throwing up. Yes, okay, it was like the middle of the night, throwing up. I want to say he threw up like 3 times. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I'm like, what? Like, I just was confused. So I hit up the advice nurse, you know, and they're like, I want to say I hit the advice nurse up twice, okay? And I do this so I don't panic. I could have like rushed them to the ER, but I'm not the parent that like rushes their kid to the ER as soon as like something seems like off. I'm like, let me kind of weigh the situation, you know, before I jump to conclusions. So I'm like, yeah, he's throwing up, but let me like call the advice nurse to see what they think, right? For me, it's like, okay, breathing okay. They ain't turning blue, you know, so I guess they okay, right? So I hit her up. And I forget what the first one said, but I was monitoring, you know, him throwing up. Basically, like, take sips of water, the standard stuff as if an adult was to throw up. So then I had called the advice nurse a second time because he threw up again, and it just like freaked me out. So they were asking like what color it was and all this stuff. So they had made me an appointment to go see a doctor that later, like Thursday later when the sun came up, because mind you, he was throwing up like at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So we go to the doctor, really sweet doctor. Mind you, this is not their normal pediatrician. Mind you, I already said in the beginning, I'm contemplating changing her anyway because she just be, y'all, I ain't, girl. Anyways, and no, she isn't black. So I wish the Bay Area, it ain't many black people here in my opinion. Someone may say differently, but I feel like it's all about the demographics. I feel like if it's not that many black people here, chances of having a black doctor are going to be slim to none, okay? Mind you, I did find a black pediatrician at this location, but online it says she took 0 to 12 years, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, you take 0 all the way to like almost preteen teenager. Child, when I went to like put her information in, I'm sorry, the clerk or somebody had called me and was like, oh, she doesn't see young like toddlers. I said, well, why do it say that under her profile on the website? I said, that's false advertisement. Mind you, I was hella geeked, I was hella juiced. I said, okay, cool, my kid's gonna have a black pediatrician. Okay, cool. Child, they just let the air all out of my balloon, okay? Because I couldn't get her. So I was like, what's the closest thing? So I said, let me get an Indian woman, right? I'm not really feeling her. So anyways, this particular lady that they have seen is Asian, and she was really sweet. We sat there for a while. She gave him like a Pedialyte popsicle just to see if he was able to keep that down. He was. They gave us like some nausea medicine. I gave that only to him once because mind y'all, I'm not big on meds. And I gave it to him once or whatever. Oh, mind you, he also had diarrhea. I forgot to mention that. So I'm like, did he get this from school? Because the lady said the child wasn't present. But my child over here throwing up. Y'all, tell me why that Saturday my mom was throwing up profusely. Okay, I'm like, what did he give her, right? And then my brother was throwing up, I want to say the following day. He sounded like the Hulk throwing up, okay? Like, y'all, imagine, y'all already know how the Hulk be making hella noise when he transforms. Imagine him puking while he's doing that. That was my brother. I was like, who was in that bathroom? Because I'm confused, okay? So I'm like, damn, Langston over here getting people sick. Like, what's really going on? So they had got a COVID test the same Thursday they made that appointment for him for his like throwing up, right? So they get a COVID test. Tell me why he came back negative. This is why these COVID tests, girl, I don't understand it. Lord, at this point, damn a COVID test, okay? Like, yeah, I'll take it to, I guess, to rule it out, but I feel like it be showing like false negatives, false positives, like the timelines, like depending on when you're exposed to COVID, it may not show up, and then it's just retarded. So my son showed up negative, but my daughter showed up positive. So I'm like, where'd she get it from? Or maybe the nurse technician or whatever those people are called that administer the COVID test, are they nurse technicians? I don't know, y'all can let me know in the comments what the people call who administer these COVID tests up the nose. So mind you, it was two different women that did it. One lady did my daughter and a different lady did my son. So I'm like, maybe one didn't go further up the nose. You know, I don't know. Maybe everyone's technique is different. I don't know. So anyways, that was that. I kept them home, told their school or whatever that I was going to keep them home until we're quarantined. We can't go nowhere. So then during this time, Layla is producing like this green snot. It's just like, y'all, it's dripping. It is don't go chasing waterfalls dripping, okay? It is just dripping profusely and it is out of control. And mind you, we're in January at this point. So I'm just like, what's really going on? So y'all, I ended up going to the ER at some point behind her, not Langston. Mind you, I'm already skeptical of ERs anyway because I feel like that is like a COVID hotspot in my opinion. That's when my mom got COVID. So yeah, so anyways, took her there. They gave her some Amoxicillin. Mind you, I'm not big on meds, but they said she had developed an ear infection. I guess the ear infection came from her having a cold. Mind y'all, I'm going through all this. This is why I haven't been producing any content, because I just been really focused on what's going on with them, right? So anyways, they gave her amoxicillin. They like, take it for 10 days, okay? Even if she starts showing improvement, take it for 10 days. So at some point I started giving it to her. I gave it to her that same day, right? Because I'm like, okay, I want this to like work right away. It was for the ear infection, but they said it could potentially clear up the nose if the nose was a bacterial infection. I'm trying to, yeah. Okay, I've been doing a lot of research on this shit. This is just, yeah. So anyways, antibiotics do not work for viral infections, just so y'all know. You can Google it, okay? Because I've been on Google. Antibiotics, I guess, will only work for bacterial infections. That particular antibiotic was just for the ear infection, but they said it may potentially help with her green snot if it's bacterial. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you're gonna get this right away. So, oh girl, my hair's so shiny. Like, usually it look dry and dull after I take the braids out, but she's giving shine, okay? That was that. Gave her the antibiotic, y'all. Like, day 9 of me giving her the antibiotic. 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. I mean, yeah, once in the morning, once at night. She breaks out in hives. The morning, you know, it started off with the little bumps, and I'm gonna insert pictures. And disclaimer, if you got a weak stomach to hives, the skin stuff, skip. So because I need y'all to see what I've been going through, okay? So so that morning it turned into, it started out as like tiny bumps, you know, a little redness on the face, things of that nature. Y'all, some hours later, y'all, do y'all remember Will Smith in Hitch? Oh, she was all of that except the swelling. His face has swelled hella much in that movie. All she had was that redness, and I was like, what the hell's going on, y'all? I took her to the ER. I was like, forget an advice nurse. I don't have time for this. What's going on? This girl, what's she reacting to? So I want to say I had sent a photo. Yeah, I did. I sent the photo and an email to their doctor, and yeah, y'all, they probably call me like the Black Karen of a concerned parent, because y'all, when I said I've been like emailing their doctor left and right regarding like what is going on, like can y'all run different tests, yada yada. What the heck? Oh wow, that's all me. Hold on, wait, let me not get, oh no. That was a piece of hair, y'all. I was like, why is this piece hanging? Like, and I was pulling it and it felt like it was attached to my scalp. So I'm like, wait a minute, Lena, how that one piece gonna be hella long and the rest not? Okay, child, I tried it. Girl, she thought she got inches over a month. So hit up their doctor, sent pictures, and mind you, they respond whenever they're free. So I'm like, you know, I'm not about to wait for her. I'm going to the ER. Y'all go to the ER, and mind you, during this time, Layla had also had, it's weird because when I took her temperature, there was no fever, but she was just so warm. I was like, what is going on with y'all bodies? Is it COVID? Like, what's really going on with y'all? Took her to the ER. That doctor seemed not concerned whatsoever. He was like, oh, it's from the amoxicillin. It'll go away in a week. And I'm like, a week? She's itching, she's uncomfortable, she not eating like that. Like, okay. He blew me off basically. I ain't gonna even lie to you. He was like, let's just get your discharge papers, and he didn't take her temperature. Mind you, the nurse technician, I call everybody nurse technicians. I don't know what their actual title is, but the lady who see you before you see the doctor. So mind you, she had to Layla temperature, her weight, told me to undress her from the waist up. She had on like a little kid gown or whatever. And it was for nothing, because it ain't like he took her heartbeat or nothing with the dang stethoscope. I just was like, okay. So I just was like, so hurt. I had a little meltdown in the car. Yes, I cried. Yes, I'm gonna admit it to y'all. I was just left like, what do I do? Okay, she has this excessive green snot. Her body is red from head to toe. And I literally mean from head to toe. From her face, the palms of her hands, to the palms of her feet. She's red, she's itchy, uncomfortable. When it first happened, her doctor said to give her Zyrtec, and that was it, and I can give her like some hydrocortisone steroid cream. Mind you, I've had eczema growing up as a kid, and I'm not the hugest fan of those steroid creams, because the side effects, they can leave your skin like kind of blotchy. They can mess with the pigmentation of your skin. So I didn't give her that at all. I was like, I'm gonna just give her the Zyrtec, and I'm gonna lather her down and grease her up in some Aquaphor, which is pretty much like Vaseline. So she was looking like an oiled chicken that's ready to be deep fried on Thanksgiving every day, like oiled. Okay, her skin started to clear up on its own after like what the doctor in the ER said, like close to a week. So I didn't even have to give her the hydrocortisone. Okay, all I did was just kept giving her the Zyrtec once a day and just lathered her up in Aquaphor just so her skin is like moisturized. But mind you, during this time, y'all, her nose is still running green. It's still green. And I may or may not insert a picture. I don't want to freak y'all out. If I do, it may just be a real quick one, because it's nasty, y'all. It's real nasty snot. And this has been going on since December 18th to be exact. Because how I know? Because I was the day of my trip and the day I left. So during this time, obviously her doctor had eventually checked in with me after I had hit up an allergy specialist, and I had sent her an email where I was just disappointed in the healthcare system. And I'm gonna actually read y'all what I wrote to this doctor. Give me one sec. Okay, so mind you, I asked her to hit up an allergy specialist just to get like his take on what was going on. He basically agreed with her about the allergic reaction to the amoxicillin and basically piggyback off what she said. Okay, so then I wrote her back and I go, appreciate his speedy reply and additional input. I guess overall I am just disappointed that a medication with this sort of extreme flare-up does not have an instant remedy, even if it were to clear up in 48 hours. I guess I was expecting, like, you know, sometimes when you go to the ER, they give you like a shot or something to decrease inflammation, something like that. And I didn't get that when I went. I guess I just had too much of a high expectation going into the ER. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know what y'all would have done. It says, this is a moment where I am highly disappointed in the pharmaceutical industry and the healthcare system. My child is uncomfortable, red from head to toe, including the palms of her hands and the bottom of her feet. And not to mention, she is still warm. Mind y'all, like I said, her body was just hot. On Google, it says if they have a fever for more than 5 days, you know, consult your physician or go to the hospital. I did all that, but nothing was being done. So it's like, if she's having these symptoms for more than a week, or, you know, almost a week, and I'm going to y'all, but y'all not helping me. Like, why does it say go to y'all if? So anyways, so then I proceed to say, the lack of concern in the ER with the doctor last night just left me hopeless at this point. The nurse technician seemed more concerned with how warm Layla was than the doctor. He didn't even bother to take her temperature. If an antibiotic like amoxicillin has this sort of severe reaction, if someone is allergic to it, then it should not be prescribed unless we're certain that the person is not allergic to it. Because this is serious. This is not just a scratch on the finger or small rash patch. This is severe, and I am growing frustrated. So mind you, while I'm writing this, I'm heated, but I still want to come across professional. I don't want to come across as, ooh, this black girl, she knucking and bucking on the physician. No, I don't want to come across like that. Okay, I still want to approach you like I got some sense. So obviously you won't know if you're allergic to something unless you react to it. So I guess what I was trying to kind of say, since something like this is so severe, mind you, they do ask, they're like, do you have any allergic allergies to yada yada that you're aware of? And I'm like, no. But I guess what I was saying, and I feel like, okay, I think this is what I wanted to be done. I feel like it should be mandatory that, or required, whatever, that people, young babies, whoever, toddlers, their physicians should order an allergy test like as soon as they become your doctor, just so they're aware going into it, okay, this is what they're allergic to. Mind you, they have those different tests that they can run what a child is allergic to. If you have had an allergy test, you know. So I guess that's the frame of mind that I was coming from. Obviously, you won't know if you're like allergic to peanuts. That's a serious allergy and things like that unless you react to it. But I guess more so I wanted, in the beginning with her being my new physician, it should be required that when you see someone new or when you have a new patient, off top, one of the requirements is that you run an allergy test, or they immediately go see an allergy specialist so that you know off the rip what he or she is allergic to avoid situations like this. Obviously, I'm a new parent, I didn't know, so I can't blame her 100%. I guess I wanted her to care a little bit more and put me at ease, and I wasn't getting that. So that was pretty much it with that. And she did reply, and what did she say? Something about like, you know, unfortunately we don't know until you know, basically take it and react to it. So I kind of expected a reply like that. So mind you, we're going into like end of January leading into February. So I called the advice nurse again regarding her nose because I just couldn't believe this had been going on. We're in February currently, so today is February 7th. okay, so I just couldn't believe that her nose was just running profusely like this. I was just like, what the heck is going on? Like, it's green, it's running, it wasn't doing this before, like it's just ongoing snot. So I had the advice nurse on Saturday, I think it was on Saturday, it's past Saturday, she had made me a phone appointment with the doctor. This doctor prescribed a different antibiotic. She was like something about how it's a different strand or something, I don't know, whatever term she used. Mind you, I was so skeptical because she had reacted to amoxicillin. So then the doctor also suggested something called a neti pot. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. It's where you pretty much do a nasal cleanse, and some people do it daily. It's to like kind of you know, relieve congestion and clear your nasal passages if you have like dust particles or allergies, anything like that. Some people do it daily, some people do it a couple times a week. It just depends on you personally, right? So she told me about this neti pot, and I've been doing it ever since Saturday. Yeah, so I just been doing that for the last few days just to try to like help with the snot issue and hopefully to clear out some of that bacteria or whatever is going on. Clearly we don't know because no one has said, hey, let's run a test or something, or let's dig further in why her nose has been running since December. And it's not even that it's running, it's green. It's green, y'all. It's green. It's not like regular clear snot. So, you know, I went to a grocery store the other day and got like some herbal things to help with like congestion and runny noses and to get rid of bacteria. So I'm hoping these things that I got will help, because clearly the traditional Western medicine, is it Western? The traditional way of doing things, I'm gonna just say that in case I'm wrong, is not working, and these doctors are not really suggesting anything. But the doctor I spoke to on Saturday was the first person to suggest the neti pot to clean the nasal passages. You know, like I was like, wow, finally a doctor who is giving me like some suggestions on like what I could possibly do. You know, like, mind you, she was the one who prescribed the new antibiotic, and on top of that she was the one who you know, told me about the neti pot as well. Now mind you, when the pharmacist spoke to me about the antibiotic and I told her she had an allergic reaction to amoxicillin, she was like, oh, well, it's kind of like the same thing, you know, she had an allergic reaction, but then in the same sentence she said it's a less than 1% chance that she'll break out. And I was like, what? You just said two different things in the same breath. So then I was like, well, I don't want it. And she's like, well, you know, take it and do your own research. I said, child, after doing research on that, it pretty much said that antibiotics don't really work for like nasal infections from what I read. Like, and I'm just like, well, what's the point of me giving her this antibiotic? She doesn't have an ear infection. She doesn't have anything, you know, more serious than that. So I decided just not to give it to her and just do the nasal cleanse, you know, give her a bath or something with like some eucalyptus, which I did that yesterday, just to like help her breathe a little bit better. So I'm just trying these different natural remedies to like aid her of this green snot, since clearly the medical field and her doctor is just not, yeah, I don't know, y'all, but that's that and whatnot. I'ma just pray on it. Okay, y'all, so all my braids are taken out. I'ma just go through each section and, you know, kind of loosen up some of that debris, so it's a little bit easier for me to wash. And I'm gonna just do all that off camera. Y'all have seen me detangle my hair 100 times, and I'm not gonna do it on camera today. So yeah, I'm gonna just end the video right here. Hey, we're at 600 supporters. We're on the road to 1K. Get into it, okay? So I appreciate all the love and support I've been getting thus far. Yeah, so that's just that on that, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, do all that good stuff for your girl. You know, consider subscribing if you're feeling the vibes that we're giving over here. And, you know, until my next video, peace.